The old blue pickup truck made another strange noise as Maya pressed the gas pedal. She gripped the steering wheel tighter and whispered a little prayer. "Come on, just get me to work," she said to the dashboard like it could hear her. Maya had been driving this truck for 6 years now. She bought it used when her daughter was just 2 years old. Back then it seemed like a good deal. Now, at almost 200,000 miles, it was more like a gamble every time she turned the key. The Texas highway stretched ahead of her, empty except for the heat waves rising from the hot asphalt. Maya was running late for her afternoon shift at the grocery store. She had already worked at the diner that morning and would be cleaning offices tonight. 3 jobs kept food on the table, but just barely. Suddenly the truck started shaking. The engine made a loud grinding sound and thick white smoke poured from under the hood. Maya's heart sank as she pulled over to the side of the road. She turned off the engine and sat there for a moment, fighting back tears. This was exactly what she couldn't afford right now. Car repairs meant missing work. Missing work meant no money for groceries. And her 8-year-old daughter Lily was counting on her. Maya got out and lifted the hood, even though she knew nothing about engines. The smoke made her cough, and she could see something was seriously wrong. She pulled out her phone and realized she had no cell service out here. The highway was completely empty. No cars, no houses, just endless fields of dry grass on both sides. Maya looked at her watch. If she started walking now, maybe she could find help and still make it to work. She had walked about half a mile when she heard the rumble of an engine. Behind her, a large black pickup truck slowed down and pulled over ahead of her. Maya's first instinct was to be careful. She had heard too many stories about women alone on highways. The driver got out, and Maya could see he was tall with work. Boots and a cowboy hat. He looked like he had been working outside all day. "You okay, miss?" he called out, keeping a respectful distance. "My truck broke down back there," Maya pointed behind her. "I just need to get to town. I'm headed that way. I can give you a ride," the cowboy said. "Name's Cole. I own the ranch about 10 miles up the road." Maya hesitated. She had learned to be suspicious of help, especially from men she didn't know. But she was desperate, and something about his voice seemed genuine. "I appreciate it, but I don't really know you," she said honestly. Cole nodded like he understood completely. "Smart thinking. Tell you what, you can call someone to let them know you're getting a ride. My truck has a phone charger if you need it." Maya realized she didn't really have anyone to call. Her sister lived 3 states away, and she didn't have close friends. Working 3 jobs didn't leave time for socializing. But she appreciated that he offered. "Okay," she said finally. "Thank you." Cole's truck was clean and comfortable, with country music playing softly on the radio. He had a thermos of cold water that he offered to share. Maya accepted gratefully, realizing how thirsty the walk had made her. "So what do you do in town?" Cole asked as they drove. "I work at Peterson's grocery on Main Street," Maya said. "Among other places, Mrs. Peterson's a good woman. She helped my family out when I was younger." Cole glanced over at Maya. "You seem familiar. Do you also work at the Morning Star Diner?" Maya was surprised he recognized her. "Yeah, I work the breakfast shift there. How did you know?" "I stop in sometimes for coffee before I head to the feed store. You always remember how I like it, black with 1 sugar." Maya did remember him now. The quiet cowboy who always said please and thank you and left good tips. She had noticed him because most customers barely looked at the waitresses, but he always made eye contact and smiled. "You tip really well," Maya said. "I remember that." Cole laughed. "My grandmother would have knocked me upside the head if I didn't treat service workers right. She used to say you can tell a lot about a person by how they treat people who are helping them." An old song came on the radio, and Maya found herself humming along. It was one her father used to play when she was little, before he passed away when she was 15. "You know this song?" Cole asked, turning up the volume slightly. "My dad loved Hank Williams. He had every album." Maya smiled at the memory. "He used to sing this one while he worked in our garage. Said music made everything better. Sounds like a wise man. My grandfather was the same way. He taught me that a day without music is a day wasted. Cole drummed his fingers on the steering wheel to the beat. What else did your dad teach you? Maya was quiet for a moment. She wasn't used to people asking about her family or her past. He taught me to fix things myself if I could. To work hard for what I wanted. And to never give up, even when things got tough. Good lessons, Cole said simply. They drove in comfortable silence for a while, both listening to the music. Maya found herself relaxing for the first time in months. There was something calming about Cole's presence. He didn't ask nosy questions, or make her feel like she had to explain her situation. As they got closer to town, Maya started thinking about her truck again. She had no idea how she would get it fixed or how much it would cost. The stress began creeping back in. You look worried, Cole observed. Just thinking about my truck. I have no idea what's wrong with it or how I'll pay to fix it. Maya sighed. Sorry, that's not your problem. Everyone's got problems. Doesn't mean we can't help each other out sometimes. Cole pulled into the grocery store parking lot. Tell you what, I know a good mechanic. Honest guy who won't try to rip you off. I could call him and see if he can take a look. Maya looked at Cole suspiciously. Why would you do that? You don't even know me. Maybe not, but I know you work 3 jobs and you're walking down a highway in 95-degree heat to get to one of them. That tells me you're not someone who gives up easy. Cole parked the truck and turned to face her. Besides, my grandmother also taught me to help people when I can. Maya felt something she hadn't experienced in a long time. Hope. Not just about the truck, but about people in general. She had gotten used to handling everything alone, but here was someone offering help without expecting anything in return. I can't pay much for repairs, she admitted. Let's worry about what's wrong first, then we'll figure out the rest. Cole handed her a business card with his name and phone number. No pressure, but the offer stands. Maya got out of the truck and paused at the door. Thank you, Cole. Really? Anytime, he said with that same genuine smile she remembered from the diner. As Cole drove away, Maya stood in the parking lot holding his business card. For the first time in years, she felt like maybe she wasn't completely alone in the world. Maybe there were still good people who helped just because it was the right thing to do. She put the card in her wallet and headed into work, already thinking about whether she was brave enough to call him. Maya's truck had been sitting at Jerry's auto shop for 3 days now. The news wasn't good. The engine needed major repairs that would cost more than the truck was worth. Maya stared at the estimate Jerry had written on a greasy piece of paper and felt her stomach drop. I know it's a lot, Jerry said, wiping his hands on a rag. But honestly, Maya, this truck's been running on hope and prayer for months. You got more miles out of it than most people would have. Maya folded the paper and put it in her purse. Can I think about it? Course you can, but don't think too long. Every day it sits here, it's gonna cost you storage fees. Maya walked out of the shop feeling defeated. Without a car, getting to all 3 of her jobs was nearly impossible. The diner was walking distance from her apartment, but the grocery store and the office cleaning job were across town. She had been taking the bus, but it added 2 hours to her already long days. She was walking to the diner for her morning shift when she heard a familiar voice behind her. Maya, wait up. She turned to see Cole jogging toward her, still wearing his work clothes from what looked like an early morning on the ranch. Hey, she said, feeling a mix of embarrassment and relief at seeing him. What are you doing in town? So early? Feed store run. Had to get there before they sold out of the good hay. Cole fell into step beside her. How's your truck situation? Maya sighed. Not great. Jerry says it needs more work than it's worth. I'm trying to figure out what to do. They walked in silence for a moment. Cole seemed to be thinking about something. You know, he said finally, I drive past the diner every morning anyway. If you need a ride to your other jobs, I could help. Out sometimes? Maya stopped walking. Cole, I can't keep taking charity from you. You already helped me more than enough. Who said anything about charity? Cole grinned. I was thinking more like a trade. You know how to do books, right? Keep track of money and expenses? Maya nodded. She had handled all the finances when She was married, and she still did the bookkeeping for the small apartment complex where she lived in exchange for a reduced rent. Well, I'm terrible at paperwork. Hate it, actually. My ranch books are a mess, and tax season's coming up. Cole adjusted his hat. You help me get organized, I'll help you get around town. Fair trade. Maya studied his face, looking for any sign that he was just being nice. But Cole seemed genuinely serious about the arrangement. You really need help with bookkeeping? She asked. Scout's honor, ask anyone in town. I can handle cattle, fix fences, and work 18-hour days, but put a spreadsheet in front of me, and I'm useless. Maya found herself smiling despite her worries. Okay, but I want to pay for gas. Deal, Cole said, extending his hand for her to shake. That's how Maya found herself riding to work with Cole every morning. At first, she was stiff and formal, treating it like a business arrangement. But Cole had a way of making conversation. Easy. He told her about his ranch, how he had inherited it from his grandfather 2 years ago. The old man had run it successfully for decades, but Cole was still learning. Some days were good, some days the cattle got loose and he spent hours chasing them down. Yesterday, I spent 3 hours trying to get one stubborn bull back into the pasture. Cole said one morning, laughing at himself. Turns out the gate had been open the whole time on the other side. That bull was probably wondering why I was being so dramatic about it. Maya found herself laughing more during these morning drives than she had in months. Cole had a way of finding humor in everyday frustrations that made her own problems seem less overwhelming after a week of rides. Cole mentioned his bookkeeping problem again. I wasn't just making that up, he said as they pulled up to the diner. I really do need help. Would you be willing to take a look this weekend? I could pick you and Lily up Saturday morning, show you around the place. Maya hesitated. Letting Cole help with rides was one thing, but bringing Lily to meet him felt like a bigger step. She had always been careful about the men she allowed around her daughter. Lily's never been on a ranch, Maya said slowly. Most kids love it. Lots of animals to see, wide open spaces to run around. Cole seemed to understand her hesitation, but no pressure. The offer stands whenever you're ready. That evening, Maya asked Lily what she thought about visiting a ranch. A real ranch with horses and cows? Lily's eyes lit up. Can I pet them? I don't know, sweetheart. We'd have to ask. Is this the nice man who's been giving you rides to work? The one who brought me that smooth rock? Maya had forgotten about that. On Tuesday, Cole had found a perfectly round stone by the creek on his property and asked Maya to give it to Lily. Her daughter had been fascinated by how smooth the water had made it. Yes, that's him. He seems nice, Mom, and you smile more when you talk about him. Maya was surprised that Lily had noticed. She thought she had been keeping her feelings about Cole to herself. Saturday morning came, and Maya found herself nervous as she and Lily waited for Cole to pick them up. She had changed clothes 3 times, settling on jeans and a simple blue shirt. Nothing fancy, but clean and presentable. Cole arrived right on time, and Maya could see he had cleaned his truck inside and out. He greeted Lily with the same respectful kindness he showed Maya. You must be Lily. Your mom's told me a lot about you. She talks about you too, Lily said with the honesty only children possess. She says you're very nice and you know a lot about trucks. Cole laughed. Well, I know enough to keep mine running most of the time. The drive to the ranch took about 20 minutes. Cole pointed out landmarks along the way and answered Lily's endless questions about ranch life. Maya watched her daughter's excitement build and felt herself relaxing. The ranch was beautiful in a simple, honest way. The house was old but well-maintained, with a wide front porch and flower boxes that someone clearly cared for. The barn was painted red, just like in picture books, and there were several horses grazing in a nearby pasture. It's like a movie. Lily whispered to Maya. Cole showed them around, introducing Lily to the gentler animals first. There was an old Marais named Buttercup who loved having her nose petted, and a friendly goat named Biscuit who followed them around hoping for treats. Maya found herself watching Cole with Lily. He was patient with her questions and careful to keep her safe around the animals. He never talked down to her or brushed off her curiosity. When Lily asked why the chickens made so much noise, Cole spent 10 minutes explaining chicken behavior like it was the most important question in the world. After the tour, they sat on the front porch with cold lemonade while Lily played with a litter of barn kittens nearby. "She's a great kid," Cole said quietly. "You should be proud." "I am. She's the best thing I ever did." Maya watched her daughter giggle as a kitten climbed up her shirt. Her father left when things got hard, sighed he didn't sign up for struggling. "His loss," Cole said simply, "takes a special kind of person to stick around when things get tough. Lily's lucky to have you." Maya felt tears prick her eyes. She wasn't used to anyone acknowledging how hard she worked or what she sacrificed for her daughter. "Thank you," she said softly. "For what?" "For making her feel welcome here." "For making me feel welcome," Maya turned to look at Cole. "I haven't had many people I could count on." "Well, now you do," Cole said, and Maya believed he meant it. 3 weeks had passed since that first visit to Cole's ranch, and Maya found herself looking forward to Saturdays more than she had looked forward to anything in years. What started as helping Cole with his bookkeeping had turned into something much more meaningful for all three of them. Maya sat at Cole's kitchen table, surrounded by boxes of receipts, bank statements, and invoices that looked like they hadn't been organized in months. She was making good progress, but Cole's record-keeping was even worse than he had admitted. "Cole, what is this receipt for?" Maya held up a crumpled piece of paper. "It just says stuff and the amount is smudged." Cole looked up from where he was fixing a broken cabinet door. "Probably feed or maybe fence posts. Could be veterinary supplies." He grinned sheepishly. "I told you I was bad at this." "Bad doesn't begin to cover it," Maya said, but she was smiling. "This is like trying to solve a puzzle where half the pieces are missing." Outside, they could hear Lily laughing as she helped feed the chickens. She had taken to ranch life like she was born for it. Every Saturday, she begged to come back, and every Saturday, Cole seemed just as excited to see her. "Your daughter has a gift with animals," Cole said, moving to the window to watch Lily. "Old Buttercup actually comes running when she calls now. That horse usually ignores everyone except me." Maya joined him at the window. Lily was sitting in the grass, surrounded by chickens, talking to them like they were having a serious conversation. One particularly bold hen was perched on her shoulder. "She's never had pets before," Maya said. "Our apartment doesn't allow them, and we couldn't afford to take care of one anyway. She's welcome here anytime. All the animals love her." Cole paused. "And I love having both of you here." Something in his voice made Maya look at him more carefully. Over the past few weeks, she had started noticing things about Cole that went beyond his kindness to her and Lily, the way he always made sure there was food she liked when they visited, how he had quietly fixed the squeaky door on his truck because he noticed it bothered her, the way he listened when she talked, really listened, like her thoughts mattered. "Cole," Maya started, then stopped. She wasn't sure what she wanted to say. "What is it? Why do you do all this?" "The rides, letting us come here, being so patient with Lily. Most men would have run off by now when they realized I come with complications." Cole set down his tools and turned to face her completely. "Maya, you're not a complication. He searched for the right words. "You're the first person in a long time who makes me want to be better than I am." Maya felt her heart skip. "What do you mean?" "I mean, before I met you, I was just going through the motions. Work all day, eat dinner alone, watch TV, go to bed. Same thing every day." Cole ran his hand through his hair. "But when you're here, when Lily's here, this place feels like what it's supposed to be, like a home instead of just a house." Maya was quiet for a long moment. She had been feeling something similar but was afraid to admit it, even to herself. "I feel the same way," she said finally. "These Saturdays are the best part of my week. Lily talks about you and the ranch all week long. She's never had a father figure who cared about what she thought or made her feel important. She is important. You both are." Before Maya could respond, Lily burst through the front door, covered in dirt and grinning from ear to ear. "Mom, Cole, you have to come see what Biscuit learned." She grabbed both their hands and pulled them toward the door. I taught him to shake hands. They spent the next hour watching Lily show off the tricks she had taught the goat, the chickens, and even patient old Buttercup. Cole was genuinely impressed, praising Lily's natural ability with animals and asking her to teach him some of her techniques. "You could be a veterinarian someday," Cole told her seriously. "You understand animals better than most adults I know." "Really?" Lily's eyes went wide. "I could be a doctor for animals?" "Absolutely, you'd be great at it." Maya watched this exchange with a mixture of joy and sadness. Joy because she could see how much Lily was flourishing under Cole's attention and encouragement. Sadness because she knew she couldn't afford to send Lily to college, couldn't give her daughter the opportunities that dreams like becoming a veterinarian required. Later, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Lily fell asleep curled up between them. Cole had covered her with a blanket, and Maya was gently stroking her hair. "She looks so peaceful," Cole said softly. "She hasn't slept this well in months. Usually she has nightmares about us losing our apartment or not having enough food." Maya's voice was barely a whisper. "I try to hide how worried I am, but kids pick up on everything. What would help?" "With the worrying, I mean," Maya considered the question. "Honestly, just knowing that someone else cares about what happens to us. I've been handling everything alone for so long that sometimes I forget there are good people in the world." "You're not alone anymore," Cole said. "I care about what happens to both of you." "More than I probably should." Maya looked at him. "What? Do you mean more than you should?" Cole was quiet for a moment, watching the last rays of sunlight disappear behind the trees. "I mean I'm falling in love with you, Maya, with both of you. With the way you make everything better just by being here." Maya's breath caught. She had been hoping he felt the same way she did, but hearing him say it out loud made it real in a way that was both thrilling and terrifying. "I'm scared," she admitted. "Of what?" "Of this being too good to be true. Of you realizing that I come with too much baggage. Of Lily getting attached and then getting hurt." Maya's voice shook slightly. "We've been disappointed before." Cole reached over and took her hand. "I understand why you're scared, but Maya, I'm not going anywhere. This isn't some temporary thing for me. When I look at you and Lily, I see my future, even with all my problems. The debt, the job situation, the fact that I can't even afford to fix my truck. Especially because of all that. You've been through things that would have broken other people, and you're still here, still fighting, still putting Lily first no matter what." Cole squeezed her hand. "That's not baggage, Maya. That's strength." Maya felt tears running down her cheeks. She couldn't remember the last time someone had seen her struggles as strengths instead of flaws. "I love you too," she whispered. "I've been trying not to, but I do." Cole smiled and leaned over to kiss her forehead gently, careful not to wake Lily. "So what happens now?" Maya asked. "Now we take it one day at a time? We figure it out together." Cole looked down at Lily sleeping between them. "All three of us." As if she could sense the conversation, Lily stirred and opened her eyes sleepily. "Are we going home now?" she asked. "In a little bit, sweetheart," Maya said. Lily sat up and looked between Maya and Cole with the intuition that children sometimes have. She seemed to understand that something important had happened. "Cole, are you going to be my dad now?" she asked with the directness only a child could manage. Cole and Maya exchanged glances. Maya nodded slightly, giving him permission to answer. "Would you like that, Lily?" Cole asked seriously. "Yes," Lily said without hesitation. "I've been hoping you would be." Cole pulled both of them into a gentle hug. "Then that's what we'll work toward, if it's okay with your mom." Maya closed her eyes and let herself believe, for the first time in years, that everything might actually be okay. 6 months had passed since that evening on the porch when Cole first told Maya he loved her. Life had settled into a rhythm that felt like the most natural thing in the world. Maya still worked her 3 jobs, but now Cole picked her up every morning and evening. Saturdays and Sundays were spent at the ranch, where Lily had practically adopted every animal on the property. Maya's bookkeeping had transformed Cole's financial situation. What seemed like a failing ranch was actually just poorly organized. Once Maya got everything straightened out, they discovered Cole was doing much better than he thought. The ranch was profitable, and with better planning, it could be even more successful. "I can't believe these numbers," Cole said one Sunday afternoon, looking over the quarterly report Maya had prepared. "I thought I was barely keeping my head above water." "You were doing fine. You just didn't know it because everything was scattered." "In different boxes?" Maya smiled from where she sat on the porch swing. "Sometimes we're stronger than we think we are." Cole looked up from the papers. "Speaking of being stronger than we think, I have something I want to ask you." Maya's heart started beating faster. Something in his voice sounded different, more serious than usual. "What is it?" Cole set the papers aside and came to sit beside her on the swing. They could see Lily in the pasture, teaching one of the young calves to follow her around. She had become fearless around the animals, and they seemed to sense her gentle nature. "Maya, these past 6 months have been the happiest I've ever been. Coming home to you and Lily here, working together, planning for the future." Cole took her hand. "I can't imagine my life without you both in it." Maya felt tears starting to form in her eyes. She had been hoping for this moment, but was afraid to expect it. Cole got down on one knee right there on the porch swing, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. "Maya Rodriguez, will you marry me? Will you let me be the husband you deserve and the father Lily needs?" Maya looked at the ring. It wasn't huge or flashy, but it was beautiful in its simplicity. A classic solitaire diamond on a gold band that looked like it belonged on her hand. "Cole, yes, yes, of course, yes." Maya threw her arms around his neck, and they both started laughing and crying at the same time. "Mom! Cole! What's happening?" Lily came running from the pasture, having heard the commotion. "Lily, come here," Maya called, wiping her eyes. "Cole has something to ask you, too." Lily climbed up onto the porch. Looking curiously between the two adults who were obviously emotional about something, Cole knelt down to Lily's eye level. "Lily, I just asked your mom to marry me, and she said yes. But I wanted to ask you something. Too, would it be okay with you if I became your stepdad? Would you like me to adopt you so you can be a Rodriguez Harrison officially?" Lily's face lit up like Christmas morning. "Really? You want to adopt me? Like be my real dad?" "You'd be just as real to me as if I had been there from the beginning," Cole said seriously. "I love you just as much as I love your mom." Lily launched herself into Cole's arms. "Yes, I want that more than anything." Maya watched her daughter hug the man who had become the father she had always needed, and she felt like her heart might burst from happiness. "So when do we get married?" Lily asked, pulling back to look at both of them. Maya and Cole looked at each other and started laughing. "We haven't gotten that far yet," Maya said. "We just got engaged 5 minutes ago. Can we have the wedding here? At the ranch?" Lily asked excitedly. "The animals could be part of it." "That's actually a great idea," Cole said, looking at Maya. "What do you think? A small ceremony here with just our close friends?" Maya nodded. "I'd love that. This place has become home for us." They spent the rest of the afternoon making plans. Nothing elaborate or expensive. Just a simple ceremony under the big oak tree behind the house with maybe 20 guests. Maya's sister could come from Arizona, and Cole had a few close friends from town and some cousins from neighboring ranches. "We could have the reception right here on the back lawn," Maya said, getting excited about the planning. "Maybe Jerry from the auto shop could bring his guitar? He plays at the diner sometimes. And Mrs. Peterson from the grocery store makes the best cake in 3 counties, Cole added. "I bet she'd make our wedding cake." Lily was spinning around the yard, already imagining the celebration. "Can I help plan everything? Can I pick flowers for decorations?" "Absolutely," Maya said. "You can be my maid of honor and wedding planner all in one." As the evening approached and it was time to head back to town, Maya felt a familiar knot of anxiety in her stomach. All this happiness, all these plans, and she was already worrying about the practical details that Cole and Lily didn't need to think about, like what she would wear. Maya had exactly one dress that could possibly work for a wedding, and it was the same black dress she wore to job interviews and the rare times she needed to look professional. It was several years old, showed its age, and definitely didn't look like something a bride should wear. She had been thinking about this problem for weeks, ever since she started hoping Cole might propose. Wedding dresses cost hundreds or thousands of dollars. Even a simple dress from a department store would eat up money she needed for other things. "You're getting quiet," Cole observed as they drove back to town. "Just thinking about everything we need to do," Maya said, which was true. Just not the whole truth. "Like what? We're keeping it simple, remember?" "Right, simple?" Maya forced a smile. That night, after Lily was asleep, Maya sat at her kitchen table with a notebook, trying to figure out the wedding budget. She had saved a little money over the past few months since she wasn't paying for gas or car repairs, but it wasn't much. Food would be simple. Cole insisted on paying for that since it was his property. Flowers could come from the wild flowers that grew all over the ranch. Music would be Jerry with his guitar, but she still needed something to wear. And she was too proud to ask Cole for money for a dress. This was supposed to be her contribution to their wedding. Maya looked through discount store catalogs and checked online for sales. Even the cheapest dresses were more than she could comfortably spend. She thought about asking her sister for help, but Elena was barely making ends meet herself with 3 kids. Maybe she could find something at a thrift store. It wouldn't be new or perfect, but it might work. Maya made a mental note to check the secondhand shops in town during her lunch break. The next morning, Cole picked her up as usual, and Lily chattered excitedly about wedding plans during the drive to school. "Mom, what kind of dress are you going to wear?" Lily asked as they pulled up to the elementary school. "I'm still figuring that out, sweetheart. Can I help you pick it out?" "We'll see," Maya said, giving her a kiss goodbye. After Lily got out of the truck, Cole turned to Maya. "Everything okay? You seem worried about something?" Maya hesitated. She didn't want to burden Cole with her financial concerns, especially when he was so happy about their engagement. "Just wedding nerves, I think. Making sure everything comes together right." "Maya, if there's something you need, you know you can tell me, right? We're a team now." Maya nodded. But she still couldn't bring herself to admit that she was worried about something as basic as having appropriate clothes for her own wedding. "I know, I love you. I love you too, and Maya. No matter what happens, no matter what we wear or what goes wrong, the only thing that matters is that we'll be married at the end of the day." Maya smiled, and for a moment her worries seemed smaller. Cole was right. The dress didn't matter as much as the man she was marrying and the life they were building together, but still, as Cole drove away, Maya found herself hoping she could find something that would make her feel beautiful on the most important day of her life. Maya woke up on her wedding day to the sound of water dripping. At first, she thought it was rain, which would have been disappointing but manageable. They had planned for the possibility of bad weather and could move the ceremony into Cole's barn if needed, but as she became more awake, she realized the sound was coming from inside her apartment. Maya sat up in bed and felt her stomach drop. Water was dripping from the ceiling light fixture directly onto her bed. "Oh no, oh no, oh no," she whispered, jumping up and moving quickly to the small closet, where she had carefully hung her outfit for the wedding. The dress was soaked. Maya pulled the black dress from the closet and held it up, watching water drip from the hem onto the floor. The ceiling above the closet had a huge brown stain, and water was still coming down steadily. "Mom, what's that noise?" Lily appeared in the doorway, rubbing her eyes. She was wearing the pretty blue dress they had found at a thrift store for her role as maid of honor. "The pipe upstairs broke," Maya said, trying to keep her voice calm. "My dress got wet." Lily looked at the soaked dress and then at her mother's face. Even at 8 years old, she could tell this was more than just a small problem. "Can we dry it out?" Lily asked hopefully. Maya held up the dress and examined it more closely. The water had caused the cheap black fabric to run, leaving ugly gray streaks throughout. Even if they could dry it, the dress was ruined. "I don't think so, sweetheart." Maya sat down on the edge of her bed and tried not to panic. The wedding was in 4 hours. Cole would be expecting her at the ranch in 3 hours so they could get ready together. All their friends were coming. Her sister Elena had driven 12 hours from Arizona and was staying at the local motel, and Maya had nothing to wear. She looked through her closet desperately. But she knew what was there. Work clothes, old jeans, shirts, a couple of blouses that were decent but certainly not wedding appropriate. The black dress had been her only option for formal occasions. "Mom, maybe we could go buy a new dress?" Lily suggested. Maya checked the time. Even if the stores were open this early on a Saturday, which they weren't, she couldn't afford to buy anything at regular price. The $40 she had set aside for wedding emergencies was supposed to cover unexpected costs like extra food or decorations, not an entire new outfit. "The stores don't open for 2 hours, and we need to be at the ranch before then," Maya explained. Maya felt tears starting to well up in her eyes. This was supposed to be the happiest day of her life, and instead, she was sitting in her flooded apartment with no idea what to wear to her own wedding. "What if we call Cole?" Lily asked. "He could help us figure something out." "I can't call Cole, honey. He's not supposed to see the bride before the wedding. It's bad luck." Maya knew this was probably a silly superstition, but she couldn't bear the thought of Cole seeing her like this, panicked and crying on what should be their perfect day. Maya went to her dresser and started pulling out clothes, hoping against hope that she had forgotten about something appropriate. She found a navy blue cardigan that was relatively nice, a white blouse that was clean but had a small stain near the collar, a denim skirt that was decent but casual. Maybe she could put together something that would work. It wouldn't be what she had planned, but it would have to do. Maya laid the pieces out on her bed and tried to imagine how they would look together. The cardigan was old and had tiny pills all over it from being washed so many times. The blouse was too big and made her look shapeless. The skirt was faded and had a small tear near the hem that she had never gotten around to fixing. "It looks nice, Mom," Lily said, but her voice lacked conviction. Maya looked at herself in the mirror wearing the makeshift outfit and felt her heart sink. She looked exactly like what she was, a woman who was struggling financially and couldn't afford proper clothes for her own wedding. Would Cole be embarrassed? Would his friends think he was marrying beneath him? Would people whisper about the bride who showed up to her wedding looking like she was dressed for cleaning houses? "Maybe we should call Aunt Elena," Lily suggested. "She might have something you could borrow." Maya considered this. Elena was staying at the roadside inn, but she had driven straight through from Arizona and probably hadn't packed anything formal. Besides, Elena was shorter and heavier than Maya. Nothing of hers would fit properly. Maya sat back down on the bed and put her head in her hands. "I don't know what to do, Lily." Lily climbed onto the bed beside her mother and put her small arms around Maya's shoulders. "Mom, remember what you always tell me when something bad happens?" "What's that, sweetheart?" "You say that problems always have solutions, even when we can't see them yet. And you say that the people who love us don't care about things like clothes and money." Maya looked at her 8-year-old daughter and marveled at how wise she was. "You're right, I do say those things. And Cole loves you, right, no matter what?" "Yes, he does." "Then maybe it doesn't matter what you wear. Maybe he'll just be happy to see you." Maya hugged Lily tightly. "When did you get so smart?" "I learned it from you," Lily said simply. Maya took a deep breath and tried to think practically. She could call the ranch and explain what happened. Cole would understand. He had never cared about expensive things or appearances. He fell in love with her when she was wearing her diner uniform and driving a broken-down truck. But still, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that she would be letting everyone down. This was supposed to be a special day, a celebration of their love and their new family. She wanted to look beautiful for Cole, wanted to feel confident and radiant walking down the aisle. Instead, she would be walking down the aisle looking like she had gotten dressed in the dark from a pile of old clothes. Maya looked at the clock again. They needed to leave for the ranch in 30 minutes if they were going to be on time. She had to make a decision. "Okay," she said, standing up and smoothing down the denim skirt. "This is what we have, so this is what we'll wear. But Lily, if I start crying during the ceremony, it's not because I'm sad, it's because I'm embarrassed." "You don't need to be embarrassed, Mom. You're the most beautiful person I know, no matter what you wear." Maya felt fresh tears starting, but this time they were tears of gratitude for her amazing daughter. Thank you, baby. Now let's gather our things and head to the ranch. Cole is going to wonder where we are. As they packed their small overnight bag and prepared to leave the flooded apartment, Maya tried to focus on Lily's words. Cole loved her for who she was, not for what she wore. Their friends cared about them as people, not as fashion statements, but as they walked to the bus stop to catch the early morning route to the ranch, Maya couldn't stop worrying about what people would think when they saw the bride in her mismatched, worn-out clothes. She just hoped that love would be enough to carry them through what was shaping up to be a very imperfect wedding day. Maya and Lily stood at the bus stop, both carrying small bags with their overnight things. Maya kept tugging at her cardigan, trying to hide the pills and pulls in the fabric. The navy blue sweater hung loosely over her white blouse, and the denim skirt felt more appropriate for running errands than getting married. "The bus is coming, Mom," Lily said, pointing down the road. Maya's stomach churned as she saw the old county bus approaching. Part of her wanted to turn around and go back to the apartment. Maybe she could call Cole and postpone the wedding. Tell him they needed more time to plan, that something had come up. But as the bus stopped and the doors opened, Lily took her hand and squeezed it. "Come on, Mom. Cole is waiting for us." The bus ride to the ranch took 45 minutes, giving Maya plenty of time to worry. She watched her reflection in the window and tried to imagine what people would think when they saw her. Cole's friends were mostly ranchers and business owners from town. Successful people who could afford nice clothes and fancy weddings. What would they think when they saw the bride in a cardigan and a skirt that had seen better days? "You look pretty, Mom," Lily whispered, as if she could read her mother's thoughts. "Thank you, sweetheart. You look beautiful," and Lily did. Her blue thrift store dress was simple but elegant, and Mia had braided flowers from their apartment complex garden into her daughter's hair that morning dot when they got off the bus at the road leading to Cole's ranch. Maya could see cars already parked near the house. Her sister Elena's rental car was there, along with several pickup trucks she recognized from town. Jerry's old sedan was parked by the barn, which meant he had arrived early to set up his sound equipment. Maya felt her nervousness spike. All these people were here to celebrate their wedding, and she was arriving looking like she had grabbed clothes from a donation bin. "Maya, there you are." Elena came hurrying across the yard, wearing a pretty floral dress that Maya had never seen before. Her sister looked polished and put together, which only made Maya feel worse about her own appearance. "I was starting to worry," Elena said, pulling Maya into a hug. Cole kept checking the road every 5 minutes. "Sorry we're late. We had a little crisis this morning." Maya gestured vaguely at her outfit. This wasn't exactly what I had planned to wear. Elena stepped back and looked at her sister's clothes, and Maya saw understanding dawn in her eyes. "What happened to the black dress?" Pipe burst upstairs. "Everything in my closet got soaked." Maya tried to keep her voice light, but she could hear the disappointment in her own words. Elena's face softened with sympathy. "Oh, Maya, why didn't you call me? I could have helped figure something out." "There wasn't time, and besides, you didn't pack any formal clothes for a long road trip." "Actually," Elena said slowly, "I did bring one nice outfit, just in case. We're about the same size now. Do you want to see if it fits?" Maya felt a flicker of hope. "You really brought something I could borrow?" "I brought a dress I've never even worn. I bought it for a wedding last year and then chickened out because I thought it was too fancy." Elena grinned. "Turns out I was saving it for my sister's wedding?" Elena led Maya toward the house, but as they reached the front porch, Maya heard Cole's voice from inside. "Is that Maya? Finally. I was starting to think she changed her mind about marrying me." Maya froze. According to tradition, Cole wasn't supposed to see her before the ceremony. She had been planning to get ready in the guest bedroom while he stayed in the main part of the house. "Cole, don't come out here," Elena called. "Bad luck to see the bride before the wedding." Okay, I'll stay inside." "But Maya, if you're out there, I love you and I can't wait to marry you." Maya felt tears prick her eyes, but this time they were happy tears. Even from inside the house, separated by walls and wedding superstitions, Cole could make her feel loved and wanted. I love you too. She called back. Elena led Maya around to the back of the house where Cole's grandmother's bedroom had been, converted into a bridal suite for the day. Someone had put fresh flowers on the dresser and hung white curtains at the windows. It looked beautiful and romantic. Now, let's see what we can do about this outfit situation, Elena said, opening her garment bag. Elena pulled out a dress that made Maya gasp. It was a soft sage green, simple but elegant, with three-quarter sleeves and a flowing skirt that would hit just below the knee. The neckline was modest but flattering, and the fabric looked like it would drape beautifully. Elena, this is gorgeous. Are you sure? I'm positive. And look, I even brought shoes that might fit. Elena pulled out a pair of low-heeled sandals in a matching green. I figured if I was going to pack one fancy outfit, I might as well do it right. Maya held the dress up against herself and looked in the mirror. It was perfect. Not too formal, not too casual. Exactly what she would have chosen if she had been able to afford anything she wanted. Try it on, Elena urged. Maya slipped into the dress and it fit like it had been made for her. The color brought out the warmth in her brown eyes, and the cut flattered her figure in a way that made her feel confident and beautiful. Oh, Maya, Elena breathed. You look absolutely stunning. Maya turned to look at herself in the full length mirror and felt her breath catch. For the first time all day she looked like a bride. She looked like herself, but the best version of herself. I can't believe you happen to have exactly what I needed, Maya said, smoothing down the skirt. Maybe it wasn't an accident, Elena said with a smile. Maybe some things are just meant to be. There was a soft knock on the bedroom door. Mrs. Maya, came Lily's voice. Everyone's ready when you are. Maya took a deep breath and looked at herself one more time in the mirror. The woman looking back at her was confident, radiant, and ready to marry the man of her dreams. How do I look, sweetheart? Maya asked as she opened the door. Lily's eyes went wide. Mom, you look like a princess. A ranch princess? Maya said. With a laugh, Elena handed Maya a small bouquet of wildflowers that someone had picked from the fields around the ranch. White daisies, purple clover, and yellow buttercups tied together with a simple white ribbon. Perfect, Maya said, holding the bouquet close as they walked toward the backyard where the ceremony would take place. Maya could hear Jerry tuning, his guitar and the quiet murmur of their guests finding their seats. Her heart was pounding, but now it was from excitement rather than anxiety. Ready? Elena asked, taking her position as matron of honor. Maya looked out at the scene ahead of her. Their friends and family were seated in simple wooden chairs arranged in rows on either side of a natural aisle that led to the big oak tree. Cole stood beneath the tree with Pastor Williams from the community church, wearing his best shirt and the tie Lily had helped him pick out. When Cole saw her, his face lit up with a smile so bright it could have powered the whole ranch. Maya had been worried about what people would think of her appearance. But as she walked down the aisle toward the man she loved, with her daughter beside her and her sister behind her, she realized that the only opinion that mattered was Cole's, and Cole looked at her like she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Maya felt like she was floating as she walked down the aisle toward Cole. The sage-green dress moved perfectly with each step, and the wildflower bouquet in her hands smelled like summer and new beginnings. But what made her feel most beautiful was the way Cole was looking at her. His eyes never left her face as she approached, and the smile on his face was so full of love and joy that Maya felt her own worries completely disappear. Nothing else mattered in that moment except the two of them and the promise they were about to make. When Maya reached the oak tree where Cole was waiting, he took her hands and whispered, "You look absolutely perfect." "So do you," Maya whispered back, and she meant it. Cole wore a crisp white shirt with a navy blue tie that Lily had insisted matched her dress. His boots were polished, and someone had convinced him to tame his usually messy hair. But what made him look perfect to Maya was the pure happiness radiating from his face. Pastor Williams smiled at both of them before addressing their small gathering of family and friends. "We're here today to celebrate the marriage of Maya and Cole and to welcome them as they become a family with young Lily. This is a special day." Made even more special because we're celebrating it in the place that has become home to all three of them. Maya glanced out at their guests. About 20 people had come to share their special day. Elena sat in the front row, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. Jerry had his guitar ready for the music they had requested, Mrs. Peterson from the grocery store sat next to her husband, both of them beaming. Several of Cole's rancher friends were there with their wives, and Maya recognized the mechanic who had been so kind about her truck situation months ago. Everyone looked genuinely happy to be there, and Maya realized that these people had become their community. They weren't just Cole's friends anymore, or just her customers from the diner. They were the people who cared about their little family. Cole and Maya have written their own vows, Pastor Williams announced. Cole, would you like to go first? Cole squeezed Maya's hands and took a deep breath. Maya, 6 months ago, you were just a woman whose truck broke down on my route to town. But from that first day, you changed everything about my life. You showed me what it means to work hard for the people you love, what it means to be strong when things get tough, and what it means to never give up on your dreams. Maya felt tears starting to well up in her eyes as Cole continued. You and Lily brought life to my ranch and joy to my days. You made me realize that all the success in the world doesn't mean anything if you don't have someone to share it with. Cole's voice got a little shaky with emotion. I promise to love you through good times and hard times. I promise to support your dreams and help you achieve them. And I promise to be the father that Lily deserves and the husband that you've always deserved to have. Maya was crying openly now, as she could hear sniffles from several people in the audience. Maya, Pastor Williams said gently, your turn. Maya looked into Cole's eyes and found her voice. Cole, when my truck broke down that day, I thought it was the worst thing that could happen. I was wrong. It was the best thing that ever happened to me because it brought you into our lives. She paused to wipe her eyes, and Lily stepped forward to hand her a tissue, making everyone chuckle. You didn't just fall in love with me, Cole. You fell in love with both of us, with all our complications and problems and struggles. You made Lily feel important and loved when she had never had a real father figure. You made me feel like I was worth something when I had forgotten my own value. Maya's voice grew stronger as she continued. I promise to love you with everything. I promise to work beside you to make our ranch and our family the best they can be. And I promise to never stop being grateful for the day you stopped to help a stranger on the side of the road. Pastor Williams had to pause for a moment because so many people in the audience were emotional. Even some of Cole's tough rancher friends were wiping their eyes. The rings, please, Pastor Williams said. Lily stepped forward importantly, carrying a small pillow with their simple gold wedding bands. Maya and Cole had chosen classic, affordable rings that would last a lifetime. Nothing fancy, but meaningful because they represented their commitment to each other. As they exchanged rings and repeated their official vows, Maya felt like her heart might burst with happiness. When Pastor Williams finally pronounced them husband and wife, Cole kissed her so tenderly that Maya felt like she was in a fairy tale. The reception was exactly what they had planned. Simple, joyful, and filled with love, Mrs. Peterson had indeed made them a beautiful 2-layer cake decorated with wildflowers. Jerry played guitar while people ate barbecue that Cole had prepared himself on his big outdoor grill, but the most special moment came when Cole asked for everyone's attention. Maya and I want to thank all of you for being here today. You've become our family, and having you here means the world to us. Cole put his arm around Maya and pulled Lily close to his other side. But there's one more thing we want to share with you. Maya looked at Cole curiously. They hadn't planned any speeches beyond the thank you. As of this morning, I officially submitted the paperwork to adopt Lily. When it goes through, she'll legally be my daughter, and our family will be complete in every way. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause. Lily threw her arms around Cole's neck, and Maya felt fresh tears of joy streaming down her face, but the surprises weren't over yet. There's something else, Cole continued. Tom Bradley here has some news for Maya. Tom Bradley owned the largest accounting firm in the county. Maya had met him a few times when she was organizing Cole's books, but she had no idea why he would. Have news for her. Tom stood up and smiled at Maya. Maya, I've been watching the amazing work you did organizing Cole's ranch finances. Frankly, it's some of the best bookkeeping I've seen from someone without formal training. I'd like to offer you a job with my firm. Full-time, with benefits and a salary that would allow you to quit your other jobs. Maya stared at him in shock. Are you serious? Completely serious. Cole showed me your work, and I've checked with Mrs. Peterson and the other business owners you've helped around town. Everyone says the same thing. You're reliable, honest, and talented. I need someone like you on my team. Maya looked at Cole, who was grinning like he had known this was coming. You knew about this? She asked. I may have mentioned to Tom how amazing you are with numbers, Cole admitted. But the job offer was all his idea. Maya felt overwhelmed by the generosity of everyone around her. 6 months ago, she had been struggling to make ends meet, working 3 jobs just to survive. Now she was married to the man of her dreams, officially becoming mother and daughter with Lily and Cole, and being offered a career that would provide financial security for their family. I accept, Maya said to Tom, and the crowd cheered again. As the evening wound down and their guests began to head home, Maya stood with Cole and Lily under the oak tree where they had been married just hours before. Can you believe this is our life now? Maya asked, still wearing her beautiful borrowed dress and feeling like the luckiest woman alive. I can believe it, Cole said, pulling both his girls close. Because we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Lily looked up at both of them. So we're really a family now? Forever? Forever and always, Maya and Cole said together, and as they stood there under the stars, Maya knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together as a family. The struggling single mother, the lonely rancher, and the little girl who needed a father had found each other and created something beautiful. 1 year later, Maya woke up in the master bedroom of the ranch house to the sound of Lily's laughter coming from the kitchen. She stretched and smiled, still amazed sometimes that this was her life now. Sunlight was streaming through the curtains that she and Lily had picked out together last spring, and she could smell coffee brewing downstairs. Today was their first wedding anniversary, and Maya couldn't help but think about how different her life was now compared to a year ago. The job at Tom Bradley's accounting firm had changed everything for their family. Maya was making more money than she had ever dreamed of, with health insurance and paid vacation time. She had been able to pay off all her old debts within 6 months, and for the first time in her adult life, she actually had money in a savings account. But more than the financial security, Maya loved the work itself. She was good at helping small business owners organize their finances and plan for growth. Tom had been right about her natural talent for numbers, and she had even started taking evening classes at the community college to get her accounting certification. Maya got dressed and headed downstairs where she found Cole and Lily making pancakes together. Lily was standing on a step stool, carefully flipping pancakes while Cole supervised and cheered her on. Mom, look! I can flip them without breaking them now, Lily called out proudly. I see that. You're getting to be quite the chef, Maya said, giving Cole a good morning kiss and ruffling Lily's hair. Dad's teaching me to make his grandmother's secret recipe, Lily said, and Maya's heart still warmed every time she heard Lily call Cole Dad. The adoption had been finalized 3 months ago, and Lily was officially Lily Harrison now, speaking of secrets, Cole said with a mischievous grin. I have a surprise for you today. Cole Harrison, what are you up to? Maya asked suspiciously. We agreed to keep our anniversary celebration simple. It is simple, but that doesn't mean it can't be special. Cole handed her a cup of coffee made exactly the way she liked it. Finish your breakfast first, though. After they ate, Cole led Maya and Lily to his truck. They drove for about 10 minutes before pulling into the parking lot of a small boutique in town that Maya had admired but never entered. The clothes in the window always looked beautiful but expensive. Cole, what are we doing here? Maya asked. You'll see? Come on. The shop owner, Mrs. Chun, greeted them at the door like she had been expecting them. Maya, perfect timing. I have everything ready for you. Maya looked between Cole and Mrs. Chun, completely confused. Ready for what? Mrs. Chen led them to the back of the store, where a beautiful cream-colored dress was hanging on a special rack. It was elegant but not too formal, with delicate lace sleeves and a flowing skirt that would be perfect for a special dinner or celebration. Cole ordered this for you weeks ago, Mrs. Chun explained. He wanted you to have something beautiful for your anniversary. Maya stared at the dress, then at Cole. You bought me a dress? Not just any dress. I wanted you to have something that was yours, something new and special, just for celebrating our love. Cole took her hands. I know you still have Elena's green dress from our wedding, and I know you treasure it. But I wanted you to have something that no one else had ever worn, something that was just for you. Maya felt tears starting to form. Cole, you didn't need to do this. I know I didn't need to. I wanted to. You work so hard, you take such good care of our family, and you deserve to feel beautiful and celebrated. Try it on, Mom, Lily urged. Mrs. Chun showed me the shoes that go with it, too. Mrs. Chun handed Maya the dress and pointed her toward the fitting room. When Maya put it on, it fit perfectly. The color complemented her skin tone beautifully, and the style was exactly what she would have chosen for herself if money had been no object. When she came out of the fitting room, both Cole and Lily gasped. Oh, Mom, you look like you're going to a fancy party. Lily exclaimed. You look absolutely stunning, Cole said softly. Even more beautiful than on our wedding day, if that's possible. Maya looked at herself in the store's full-length mirror and marveled at the difference a year had made. Not just in her clothes or her circumstances, but in her confidence and happiness. The woman looking back at her looked secure, loved, and genuinely joyful. Thank you, she said to Cole, and the words carried the weight of everything he had given her over the past year. After Maya changed back into her regular clothes, they drove to the cemetery just outside of town. Cole had never asked about Maya's parents, but somehow he had figured out where her father was buried. They stood together at her father's grave while Maya told him about the man she had married and the life they had built together. I think he would have liked you, Maya said to Cole. He always said the measure of a man is how he treats people who can't do anything for him. You stopped to help a stranger with a broken-down truck, and you changed all our lives. I think I got the better end of that deal, Cole replied. From the cemetery, they drove back to the ranch, where Maya discovered another surprise Elena had driven in from Arizona and was waiting on the front porch with a cake and decorations. Surprise, Elena called out. I couldn't miss celebrating your first anniversary. They spent the afternoon reminiscing about the wedding day and catching up on family news. Elena was doing well, and her kids were excited to spend their summer vacation at the ranch later in the year. Remember how worried you were about your dress that morning? Elena laughed. And look at you now. You're glowing with happiness. As evening approached, Cole suggested they take a walk to the oak tree where they had been married exactly 1 year ago. The tree was in full bloom, and someone had hung lights in its branches that twinkled like stars. You did this too? Maya asked. Lily helped, Cole admitted. She said it needed to look magical for our anniversary. They sat on a blanket under the tree, watching the sunset and listening to the peaceful sounds of the ranch. The cattle were settling down for the night, and somewhere in the distance, they could hear the horses nickering softly to each other. Do you ever think about how different things could have been? Maya asked. If my truck hadn't broken down? That day, if you hadn't stopped to help? Sometimes, Cole said. But then I remember that the best things in life aren't accidents. I think we were meant to find each other. Lily, who had been playing with the barn cats, came running over to join them under the tree. Are you guys being all mushy again? She asked with a giggle. Absolutely, Cole said, pulling her down onto the blanket with them. It's our anniversary. We're supposed to be mushy. I like it when you're mushy, Lily said, snuggling between them. It makes me feel safe. Maya looked at her husband and daughter at the ranch that had become their home, at the life they had built together through love and hard work and the support of their community. A year ago, she had been terrified that her wedding day would be ruined because she didn't have the right clothes to wear. Now she understood that it had been perfect because it had brought them to this moment, to this life, to this family. I love you both so much, Maya said, pulling them closer. We love you too, Cole and Lily said together, and as the stars came out over their ranch, Maya knew that sometimes the most beautiful love stories begin with the simplest acts of kindness. A stranger who stops to help. A man who sees past appearances to the heart beneath. A love that grows from friendship and trust and shared dreams. Their story hadn't begun with perfect circumstances or fancy clothes or unlimited resources. It had begun with broken-down trucks and financial struggles and the courage to accept help when it was offered. But it had become something beautiful, something lasting, something real, and that was the best kind of love story of all.